Absolutely. Of course, referral business is, as we know, the best kind of business, and it typically does come from a past client, but if that's not always the case, and I think that we absolutely want to reward a referral regardless of whether they're a past client or not, because if they were willing to refer you, chances are they are they're definitely interested and open to the idea of doing business with you in the future. And I think that a referral reward program of sorts is a great thing to incorporate in your systems, which is strategy number 4.
Oh, that's so funny.
I know you're really good at segueing into these things.
And no, people, I did not have advance notice on these strategies.
Yeah, incredibly intuitive. Oh, shoot. Well, our fourth strategy is keeping track. Okay, get a database, a contact management system, a digital address book, that type of thing. I'm always surprised by the number of businesses, especially small businesses, who don't have a really good, solid database of their past customers and clients. So we want to find a way to keep track of your clients, past and present, so we can easily and quickly contact them. We think about, doing some sort of direct mail, a postcard or something, and then we're looking at all of these manila files going, oh my gosh, I have to go through all of these and find all the addresses, and it may be current, it may not be current, and it's so overwhelming that it ends up not happening, right?
Right. Now, would you suggest that that when you contact your clients, you keep track of exactly when you contacted each client?
Absolutely. In fact, what we're looking at is developing a sort of client tracking system. And, of course, that can be a little tedious and time-consuming. Not always a designer's cup of tea to put together something like that. And I'm speaking of myself personally when I think of this. But it really will be an asset and a time saver in the future. So if we're talking about a fairly simple database that can be put together, and, of course, it's a great thing, and you mentioned that you're discussing this concept in other segments about outsourcing. It's a great thing to outsource as well. An intern or a VA might be of great help in a task like this, and just simply gathering the information, putting a database and some sort of system where we can keep track of clients' addresses, phone numbers, emails, when we've contacted them, when it's time to contact them again, the results of contacting them, as well as incorporating what you mentioned previously in some sort of referral rewards program as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you mentioned keeping track of the results of contacting them, so that also kind of talks to tracking the various vehicles that you have out there, the various promotional vehicles, so that if someone does respond to something or one of your promotional efforts, then you are aware of which ones are more effective.
Absolutely. It's so important. And it's that evaluation component on so many different aspects of business that often gets overlooked. We do the research and we develop something great and we get it out there, and we're so thrilled to have that part of it done that a lot of times that measurement or evaluation component of the effectiveness of that effort is the part that kind of, starts to maybe not receive the attention that it deserves, because it can provide us with such a wealth of information in terms of knowing where to focus our time, energy, and budget in the future.
Exactly. It's funny how everything always comes down to the dollar.
Isn't that the truth? Well, our fifth and final strategy might involve a little bit of money, but it's really also another incredibly cost-effective, rewarding strategy, and that is inviting our clients and customers to preview a new product or service before you offer it to the public. Okay? I think this is a really fun idea.
That's very interesting. Okay.
Yeah, and so what I'm thinking here is doing something like holding an invitation-only function, all right, or other special events for our client. Our clients, and design clients really appreciate being in the know or in the loop in terms of what the latest trends are and the latest products in the design industry. I have some examples of these types of special events that I've used in the past. One of them is a trunk show. We can have a representative from one of your fabric companies come in and show the new spring line or the new fall line, and people can come in and participate and watch this presentation, see all these, how great it is when our fabric reps come and they have the big pieces of fabric, how they're just rich and luscious, and you just want to dive into them instead of flipping through our little sample books that we use on a daily basis. There's such an impact from those big, beautiful pieces of fabric, and it's one of those kind of industry insider things that clients really feel special, and they really feel like it's a treat to be involved in something like that. So
Right.
I think it's really a fun and effective way to make our clients feel valued and special. Another type of event or concept that we've centered events around is the introduction when the color marketing group unveils the color trends for the upcoming year.
Mm-hmm.
They're always themed, like around, say there might be a technology-themed one, and the palette for that is metallics and different hues of grays and beige and taupe and whatever it might be, and to introduce the research that goes into developing those color trends and finding out and how they affect industries other than design, the automobile industry and fashion, and how that all comes together. Again, it's a lot of fun, and typically design clients love to learn about this kind of thing.
That's great. I mean, even if you are not holding a live event, I mean, even putting the content of this communication or this information in your newsletter, that's great.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, great, juicy little tidbits. They just love it. And I think you're exactly right. This information can be shared in a variety of formats. It doesn't necessarily have to be a live event. Mm-hmm. A third type of event or grouping of information, if you will, might be focusing information or events centered around eco-friendly design or green products. Mm-hmm. People are very interested in that right now, and that's another area that our clients look to us as designers to be kind of on the forefront of the knowledge of what the newest, latest, greatest is. And so that might be another area that we could put some information out there, hold an event, and share information with our clients. If you're doing a live event, it doesn't have to be a big production. Serve some light hors d'oeuvres and beverages. It can be very inexpensive and simple and not over the top at all. But it's a great opportunity to connect with our clients.
Right. Wow, this is great.
Yeah, and another way to go would be to partner with your clients in some type of marketing effort, workshop, or a special event. If you have a client who's a business owner, perhaps they own a retail store, clothing retail, and you partner with them in some sort of evening event where people come in and they can shop and look for clothes, and you can share information, or maybe it's to raise money for a local charity or something. But partnering with your clients in some type of event that way is another opportunity to spend time with your clients and connect with them on a more personal basis and really strengthen that designer-client relationship, which is really what client retention is all about.
Right. Wow, that's great. That's a good tip. It's a really good tip, because a lot of times we think where everything is focused just on what we're doing at the moment, but kind of thinking outside of our boxes and looking at how we can work with clients in other ways, such as the fundraisers you mentioned. So our name is getting out there to more people, and as you said, we're developing a stronger bond with our clients. That's great.